It's Feel Good Friday with Dr. Phil 2. It's time to fill your Friday with something good. Come on together, let's shape a new start with clarity, confidence, and purpose. It's Feel Good Friday. Hey, what's up, everybody? Listen, you got me in the moment. You got me in the moment. Hey, it's Feel Good Friday, everybody. And listen, we getting this thing going. I'm with my business coach, my friend, my brother, a co-author of the book Lessons for the Journey. And listen, he has so many credentials to him, books he's written, founder of Ideas to Life, has helped many people start their business with clarity and culture, everybody. So listen, I want y'all to welcome to this stage my brother, Kymone Hinds. How you doing?
Man, I'm excited to be here on Feel Good Friday, man. This Friday just feels so much better, Phil. Just
Yeah.
being on here, getting an opportunity to be with my brother and to share in what you've been doing on your platform, man. I'm so proud of you and so excited for the work you're doing to inspire people and to help them to shape a new start.
Oh, thank you, man. Listen, the journey, you've been part of the beginning of this journey from when I started McGuire Entertainment Group, and then learning that, hey, I can actually monetize my speaking in the speaking world, and you helped me shape this thing. And the crazy part is we went through so many names. We went through
Yeah.
uh
Yeah, I remember them.
we went through, two ain't a bad number.
Yeah.
We went through so many things until we came to shaping your new start. And you've been there. You've been there in the beginning. So listen, we just want to talk about you, what you're doing, the new ventures that you're getting into, because we want people to be able to join your journey. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know Brooklyn, Trinidad,
Yep.
uh, and we cross paths in the same church, just not at the same time.
Yeah.
So, so it's crazy how our paths are crossed.
So yeah, first of all, man, I know this is an opportunity for me to share my story, but Phil, I just want to just thank you. You give other people a chance to share their story and to share your platform, and you have so much going on yourself. So just for anyone who is tapping in and listening to this, if you are looking for someone to motivate your students who understands what it's like to experience setbacks and is able to bounce back and to show resilience and to still move forward, and this man has a PhD. If you're looking for a speaker like that for your students, make sure you connect with Phil. If you're watching this on his platform or someone else's platform, make sure you connect with him. All right.
Hey, thank you.
So here's my journey, right? I was born in New York, but I grew up in Trinidad. I did the opposite of what most people do. I went from New York back to the islands rather than the islands to New York. And so from the age of 2 to 18, Trinidad is where I grew up. And so that's home for me. Love my roti and doubles and currants roll, and I could go down the list of foods and make everyone hungry. But
That's
yeah, that's where I was shaped. That's where I was shaped. But understanding this, that I knew at the age of 18, I was gonna move back to the US. I was gonna attend college. And I remember when I left home, right, to come back to attend college, Phil, all my parents could give me was a few $100s. That was before the days of cell phones. You had to have a calling card to call home. And my aunt and my support system with my extended family was there. And I was off in college, but I was navigating this whole new world of this big city of New York, attending college. And I will say that the church that you mentioned, Nuda mentioned, became a great grounding place for me and a great foundational place for me to develop myself as a leader.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And when we both met in seminary,
Yeah.
both getting our masters in the coldest place on earth besides Antarctica, right? Berrien Springs, Michigan. Man, when I meet people, from Michigan, I'm always like, man, I learned a new meaning of cold being there. But since then, I mean, things have just been growing there. I remember you just planting a church, right? Just
Mhm.
planting one called Journey, and that was inspirational for me because you were able to do something different with it. You're able to kind of shape it different and do what was like one of the most fun. This was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah.
What was like the joy of that one?
Yeah, so journey, right? It's interesting, Phil. The idea for a church plant started all the way back in 2004 when we
Mhm.
were in Charleston, Missouri. In
Wow.
Charleston, Missouri, we had this idea of a church plant in a city called Cape Girardeau. Now, I got moved to the conference office to be youth director, and I stayed there for 7 years. And the idea never went away. And wanted to make that transition. But it was around 2012 that I was approached with the opportunity to lead a congregation while starting this new church plant. And quite honestly, I did not want to move from Kansas City. Being youth
Wow.
director, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. But it was one of those situations, and I hope for those who are watching and listening to this, that you can take something from this story. The only reasons I could say no to it were based on fear, right?
Mm,
The fear of what would happen if I failed in the new venture, the
yeah.
fear of what I would be leaving behind in terms of past success. And God had really just brought back to me the opportunity to fulfill a dream that was over 7 years old. And so we move forward. And the good thing about having to plant while already leading a congregation is there
Yes.
were like, no one was rushing us in the process, right? It was no like, you need to produce people and baptisms and all of these markers soon. It allowed us a chance to, because we were holding down another church that was doing well. It allowed us to dream and say, what would church look like if we could just start it in a way that made sense for this world and made sense for our community. And so our whole theme was, how do we bring church along the path of life? We wanted people to one, our members to live out what it meant to be the church every day of the week, meet their neighbors, interact with their friends. And then we wanted our church worship experience and our church life experience to be something that people could bump into. So we met at a community center, and it wasn't closed down, it was open. So people would walk in and be like, wait a minute, what's happening here? Right?
Yeah.
We started to do activities partnering with the community center and then the YMCA, which we moved to. And what was so interesting is there are people who would join because they came to the Y to exercise. They heard the music and they were like, let me step in. And we had probably more people who were attending that were members, because it was just like, come on. And you could not, when you joined, you always came, you couldn't ask yourself, what can I find myself doing here? We had a job for everyone. First day, hey, break down a table, set something up, because we needed the help. We were portable.
That's crazy because that was the main thing, in my situation as I'm leading a church. We were like, hey, if we can't get back in our building, where do we go? But I always thought of your motto as, hey, we can go to the Y. We even had a meeting with the Y, like, okay, we can use this room and
Yeah.
things like that. Eventually I found a way for us to get back in the building and transform it. But your motto was kind of what I started to think about. So, and that is sort of what you've been doing. So you kind of built from things you were already doing. And so what inspired you to start Ideas to Life? How did that
But
come out?
that's a good question. And I think you said something there that is a good connector. Phil, I've always been starting stuff, right? In a
Yes.
good and a bad way. I'm always I feel like God has given me that gift to come into existing situations and see things in new ways,
Yeah.
right? Even as a youth director, coming on to being a pastor in my local church, and then to starting that new congregation. And so Ideas to Life is really um, an outgrowth of how I think and how I think God has wired me. And
Mm,
so while I was pastoring, I've always been fascinated, and I hope our listeners can get something from this.
come on now.
Look at the things that you've always been doing, even the things you've been doing for free or for fun. because they might be an indicator as to the things that you can do for finances, right? The things you've been doing for free and fun, and I just came up with that, can be an indicator or a clue to what you can do to make money. So
Yes.
while I was always fascinated with people who would start something from scratch.
Hmm.
And so one of the things that I did is I started interviewing people who started a nonprofit, started a business, started some new venture. And the podcast, as I was doing the podcast, it started to position me as someone who can help people to do the things that I was interviewing people about. And so I got my first coaching client off of my podcast. And from there, it opened a light bulb. My ministry is not just confined to the local church. God called me to help people to take the things that he put inside of them and move it out into the world as new business ideas, new ventures, and new ministries.
That's crazy. And you were really one of the first to begin this podcast venture, and got me to start one as well. So you first became a podcast
Yeah.
coach,
Yeah.
right? And then, started to kind of lean into that. And then I leaned into it a little bit. And I'll tell you what, I wish I had gone this way faster than I started producing albums, right? So I was producing the mega project, but wow, I started to think back, wow, if I had started this a long time ago, wow, how much further would I be with where I am? But there's one quote you always say, and I'm going to let you say this quote. I should have started this a
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
time
Yeah.
ago. Tell,
Yeah.
tell me the quote.
Yeah. 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 So the quote is, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Right. And so a lot of us can feel that part of the quote. Yeah, man. Just like you said, I wish I had started my podcast or kept my podcast from 5 years ago. That is true. The best time to plant that tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Second best time is now. So, yeah, we can't move back in time and restart the podcast from 20 years ago or 5 years ago or the business from 2 years ago, but we can start now. And that's what I want to encourage someone. The thing that you might think it's too late for, it might be the perfect time. Because here's what's going to happen, Phil. In 2 years, if you do nothing, time will pass.
Yeah,
And what would have happened? You would have been lamenting the time that passed.
yeah,
But if you started now, you in 2 years, you would have 2 years of progress to show. 2 years of your podcast,
yeah.
right? 2 years of your business, 2 years of that new venture, 2 years of if you have to go back to school, 2 years of progress in that degree to show.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, this is my fourth podcast.
Yeah.
Like this is the fourth podcast. And so it's become easy. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you why the when you started the podcast was so important at the time, because it started to take off in other worlds, yes. But the moment I started the podcast, which was the anchored voice,
Mm-hmm.
um, is the moment COVID hit and we had to shut down everything and go virtual.
Mm-hmm.
But by that time, I already had everything I
Yeah.
needed to go virtual.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And, that kind of, brought us into where we are now. And then I remember I was struggling with Ecamm. He was like, "Hey, Phil, have you ever thought of StreamYard?" I'm like, "Oh man, let me look at this." And then as soon as I got on, I was like, you know what? Ecamm shut. Actually, I was doing a podcast with Sharon Riley, and the Ecamm thing shut my computer down. I was like, that's the last straw. I went straight to StreamYard for free.
Yeah.
And we did that bad boy right there on the spot. And
Well,
yeah,
Phil, can I just share one memory I have of your podcast?
yes,
My favorite episode is the one you did with your dad.
yeah,
That thing was so meaningful. And, as a father of a son, as a son of a father, just watching that will always be one of my favorite podcast memories from any podcast I've watched. So, it's for anyone, sometimes we think the thing that I did, it didn't work out. It may not have given you the thing that you others have gotten out of it, but you've gotten something out of it.
yeah,
And what's so important about starting the things that are on your mind is not just what it becomes, but who you become in the process of doing it.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And I'm able to still share that podcast and still go back to it because that was a time capsule for me.
Yeah,
That was all
like
right.
that.
I know my dad is heading that way, right? And
Hmm.
then, hey, let me time capsule this
Hmm.
and go from there. And then I'm able to, share it again or share clips of it again and or just go back for my own sake and just hear his voice again. And so that was one of the most powerful things. And then I want to thank you because that weekend he died, you jumped in to preach for me and online and crazy stuff even happened that day.
Hey.
Crazy stuff even happened that day while we were going through that thing. But I call that leading while bleeding. I still had
Mm,
to produce
mm,
the virtual church
wow.
experience. I still had to show up for my church, and I had to do that while bleeding, but you were there for me to support, and I'm really grateful. We're also co-authors of the book Lessons for the Journey. That's a book you can get online, everybody, on Amazon. So that's co-authored with Paula,
My
and
good
we
friend.
had her on. So I had this graphic on because her book we also supported, but we had
Yeah.
the Lessons for the Journey book, and we co-authored that. And guess what? Still getting residuals off of that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Every now and then, man, you look up, see a little money come into your account, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Shout out to Athena. And you've done some more work with her. Can you tell us about the Monetize Your Ministry concept? But you did something about writing as well.
Yeah, yeah. So, good question. So, monetize your ministry. So, um, it's almost putting two words together that people don't usually put together, right? Monetization and ministry, because we think ministry means free.
Yeah.
Um, but my definition, and a simple definition for ministry, is service. And I believe every person who is a believer has a ministry because God has shaped you in a unique way to serve, and He shaped you to serve certain people in a unique way.
Yeah.
And that may not have anything to do with your title or your office
Hmm.
at church. It's
Hmm.
not confined just to pastors and leaders up front, but it's simply how you serve others best. And what I've discovered is that the foundation for a successful, impactful business is actually the thing that you use to serve others best, which is your ministry. And that comes in a connection between what God's already planted in you, what you've developed through your life work, and what's been pressed out of you through your life struggles. And so I worked with people through the years who've had amazing stories, who've gone through loss, who've gone through struggle, who've gone through trial. And on the other side of that, they wanted to help other people with similar struggles. And so as I coach them, one of the things I recognize is that everyone is building on their unique ministry. They've monetized their ministry. And so I said, I want to help more people find their unique ministry. What's your thing? Who's God calling you to serve? And then monetize this. Now, why should we monetize it? Right? That's the question, Phil. Why should we monetize the thing you use to serve others best? And here's the answer, because it's the only way you can do more of it. It's the only way. Otherwise, you have to put your money into it, and that is not sustainable. Or you have to do it on the side while trying to do so many other things to make money. But if you can lean in and create a stream of income from the way you serve others best, it frees you up to do it better and to do more of it. So, case in point, my good friend, our good friend Myron Edmonds, his story, he kept sharing as a man, his struggles as a husband, as a father, his struggles with addiction to pornography, and men would gravitate to him looking for help. And what we did is we said, okay, this is your unique calling.
Yep.
If you can build a stream of income from this, it frees you up to do more of this. And now he is doing that full time. And so I've partnered with people like Athena because some people want to monetize through writing a book, partner
Hmm.
with people like Pierre Quinn. Some people want to monetize through speaking in the marketplace,
Yep.
and partnered and I help people also through coaching. So how can you build a coaching business off of your unique ministry?
I love it. Yeah. And you're right about that because it costs, like even this platform, it
Mm-hmm,
costs
mm-hmm.
to do this platform. It costs to do it right. I mean, there are free hacks that you
Yeah.
can do, but it costs to have a platform to design the platform or to pay somebody to design
Mhm.
your graphics or to to boost your reels or anything, any equipment, the microphones that we have, the things. So things cost, and I find it, even as a pastor, that needs to raise money. It's like I can't just depend on offering.
Yeah.
We have to do some innovative ways to raise that the funds for the things that we can do and do more. We have to write grants. We have
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
do concerts to raise money. I mean, it happens even in the ministry that we do. We have to find outside ways. Hey, selling T-shirts, selling food
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
at the social, right?
Yeah, but think about this, Phil. You and I both pastored. You've
Yeah,
seen members of your church who you're like, this person just has amazing abilities. I've
yeah,
gone to churches and someone says, this is the person who decorated the entire fellowship hall for this special event. And they
right.
decorate for everyone's wedding and they decorate for the baby showers. And what goes through my mind is this person has to get up and go to a 9 to 5 and sometimes has a second job. And then they're coming and spending all of their money and no one has told them that what you are doing is you have an event business. You have a business that
Mm,
you can work now and do company functions.
of
You can do
course.
private events, and if you're able to do that, you can give more of your time to this. It gives you joy when you do it. That's one of the things that we miss when people do the things that they do best. It gives them joy.
Yeah,
And what if we could teach our members not just to give us money and to give us all of their time for free, but to show them the thing that you're already doing with such joy? Let me show you how to now monetize this so
yeah.
you can gain some income, bless your family from this.
That's what's up. So let me just segue into this because you're doing something every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a free workshop,
Mm-hmm.
how to monetize your ministry, the things that you do, make $5,000 in 60 days
Yeah.
without building a website, running expensive ads, or having a huge social media following. Now, this is a concept that has helped a lot of people shape their new start. This is how you learn how to utilize what's in your hand. So it's kind of like I don't know if you remember her name was Sister Odia, but she had another. She was that's after she was married,
Mm-hmm.
Sister Jennifer
Oh,
from
yeah,
New
yeah,
Diamond.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah,
passed away since,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so rest in peace. But I'll never forget her because she always pulled me aside, Pastor, what's in your hand?
Mm,
Right.
mm,
And I never forgot that. She talked
mm-hmm.
about the Moses concept, like what's in your hand. Moses just had a stick,
Yeah,
but this stick in his hand was able to change the world, change
yeah,
everything in society, split a Red Sea, lead a people to freedom.
yeah, yeah,
What is in your hand could do astronomical things.
yeah.
And I think that's what you're doing. And
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be a part of Monetize Your Ministry.
Yes,
And
sir.
uh, I'll be speaking at the event on September 9.
Yeah.
And I have to do a good job because it's my wife's birthday. So I have to come through and I have to get my stuff together. But you and Pierre Quinn, the funny thing is, you and Pierre Quinn kind of connect in my history in Michigan because I did this crazy concert with this crazy blue shirt.
I didn't think the blue shirt would come up, Phil.
And he was the background singer.
He was one of them. Yep, I
He was one
remember
of
that.
the singers.
Listen, I will never forget that day. But let me tell you this, Phil. Back then, and it's the same today. You always, and I love their name, Phil Good Fridays. You always bring a certain energy to whatever you do, right? You bring a certain level of like excitement to everything you do. I don't think I've ever seen you enter a space, a room, an assignment that you did not bring that like Man, I want to bring my energy up because his energy is up. So Phil, I was leading a group, and our friend Gamal was on the keys, and I remember the event was going on, and you had emceed some of it, and then you announced this new group, and then you disappeared, and then you appeared from the back, blue shirt. I'll never forget. I wish we had video back then. This would be viral right now on some social media platform. But you're
Yeah.
right. Pierre was one of the background singers. I connected with him. We don't talk about this enough too, as well. I was in a singing group with him with Saini Tate. I lasted maybe about 3 months in that group.
Wow,
Yeah,
Sadie. Listen, that's another brother that's always doing something.
yeah,
Yeah. So Pierre has gone out into corporate space and speaking space, and he's been doing a phenomenal job as well. And so he's teaching everybody, and there are still spaces open. Everybody, there's
hmm
still
hmm
spaces open. So listen, we want you to, I know there's the QR code for the workshop, but you can go to monetizeyourministry.com and also sign up. So sign
yeah,
up for the workshop, sign up to be a part of what's going on, monetize your ministry, and you're going to learn. You're going
yeah,
to learn, and it's going to help you with your branding. It's going to help you with your clarity, and you have helped me to clarify my message. That is the main thing. So, I had gone from McGuire Entertainment Group, a new sound in the air, and still McGuire still pretty much funds what we're doing here today. So it's not like I jumped from one thing to another. I just leveraged what I
that's
had
a good
already
word.
started
That's a good
to
word.
create Shaping Your New Start.
Yeah,
And from the podcast, here we are with Feel Good Friday. Even though I've done Anchored Voice, the Mega Voice Live, I've done Shaping a New Start education podcast, and I do one for my church. So every church now after that I've done a podcast for.
right.
So it's a great thing, and we want everybody to join in. You want to talk a little bit more on it?
Sure. Let me share about these two things real quick. So, this coming Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, I do this workshop to help you make your first 5K in 60 days. Now, 5K may not seem like a lot of money to people, but it's a marker that shows that my business is viable. And so we teach you how to get started without you having to pour your money into your business to get it up and going. The simple strategies to get off the ground, to begin gaining income, so that then you could take that and reinvest it and level up. And so we teach you how to get started in that workshop. The second thing you mentioned, and I'm really hoping someone takes advantage of this. Write this website down. It's speakingmastermind.com. So it's really simple, speakingmastermind.com. If you have a message, if you have expertise that you have been sharing it in one space, maybe you've been sharing it in a classroom, maybe you're doing workshops on it, maybe it's something you've written a book on, and now you want to move it out into another space to speak to organizations and companies. On September 8th and 9th, we are hosting a 2-day mastermind, Pierre and I, where we're going to help you, as Phil mentioned, clarify your message. We're going to teach you how to find the speaking opportunities, and we're going to put you on a stage, because if you're going to do a speaking mastermind, you need to speak. We're going to put you on a stage. You're going to walk away with a professional speaker reel. And here is the real clincher here, Phil. You're going to have an opportunity to be in a room with decision makers who are looking for keynote speakers, looking for workshop presenters. So you may have a chance to have a conversation with someone that can lead you to your 5K speaking gig soon after that event. So we have limited spaces available because of the setup. You need to go to speakingmastermind.com and apply so that we can see if you're a great fit for this. And if you are, we want to get you in the room. It's in the DMV area. It's an amazing opportunity for you. Please don't miss it.
That's it. That's it. And I saw the last one that happened, and just definitely inspired by everyone who has now taken it to the next level. Some were comedians,
Yeah.
and that turn their gift into speaking. Some have been in the mental health field, some have been in the corporate space, another one into children's books. And so uh, we're excited of what they've done afterwards in starting. So I'm excited to get it going. I have been blessed to be on different platforms in different schools, and to be able to speak to students with clarity. Now, one of the important things about this is not just, okay, I'm going to speak and make money. I'm going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times, students have come up to me and said something to me in regards to what I said, only because I know I'm on a mission to go into schools or leadership conferences, churches, wherever it is. I know I'm on a mission to change somebody's life for the better. I'm on a mission to tell them that they can inspire to do better. They can do great where they are. They can flourish where they're planted. So that's, that message. Hey, it doesn't matter how you started. You can start over again. You can reset. You can refocus, and you can still find success. So we're not just talking about, okay, monetize your gift, but you're going to make a difference because your voice matters.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It's increasing income, but also impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that if you go for the impact, the income is going to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you. I thank you for really inspiring me and getting me going and clarifying my message, and being on this platform. I hope that everyone signs up for speakingmastermind.com. Again, there's only a few slots. And where else can they find you?
Simple. Go to monetizeyourministry.com. And if you go there, you'll find a lot of the other programs that I'm doing. Or if you type my name, Kymone Hinds, on any social media platform, you'll find me, because I'm the only person with the spelling of both of those names the same way they are. So find me at Kymone Hinds on any social media platform.
I love it. You're right. You're right. Listen, you see the name right there. It is unique. And then it's a powerful name, by the way. It is a unique name. It's a powerful name. It's a name that stands by itself. And so, listen, I appreciate you, my brother. And I hope that, what you do for others will skyrocket. So if you need a business coach, listen, this is the one to go to. Go to this workshop, get this QR code, sign up, inbox me if you need more information. I'll make sure that you get it, because guess what? I'm excited for September 9 in the DMV area, and to be a speaker. And so we're excited to get this going. Everybody, this is Feel Good Friday. One last thing, my brother. One last thing. You got to tell us, what can we feel good about? Now, one of the things when we start a coaching session, you always start off with, what can we celebrate?
Yeah.
What can we celebrate? What can we feel good about today?
Yeah. Listen, I think for anyone, I'm going to go back to what we said at the beginning. There is something that you might be thinking, it's too late for me about. And I just want to encourage someone, it's not too late. That idea that you've been sitting on, it's not too late for you to get started. I don't care if 10 other people are doing it. It's you. What you're going to bring to the table is going to be different than what they're doing. So the best time to plant that tree was 20 years ago. Here's some good news. The second best time is right now, and you're going to take advantage of this right now.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you, everybody who's been watching on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. On Instagram, we got a few people chiming in on Instagram. So thank you to everybody who's been tuning in. And again, tune in next Friday for Feel Good Friday. This is my brother, certified business coach, Kymone Hinds. Make sure you follow him on all his platforms. And listen, everybody, there's always something to feel good about on this Friday. It's Feel Good Friday with Dr. Phil 2. It's time to fill your Friday with something good. Come on together, let's shape a new start with clarity, confidence, and purpose. It's Feel Good Friday.